proceed, please? Ms. Midori, I'd like to start with that document you have right there in front of you. Could you take a look at that again?
Sure.
Now, you just told the jury here that when you saw that, well, you knew it wasn't true, right? Those requirements, those aren't real requirements.
Right. After I read it, I realized that these aren't true.
But Ms. Midori, just to be clear for our jury, when you first saw that flyer, you figured it had to be true.
Right, because it had the Midland seal, like every other document that the Midlands Election Commission distributes.
Right, so when you saw that, you figured it was true, not that those things were false.
Well, I didn't really read it when I first saw it. It was dark outside, it was after 10 p.m., it was posted on a building. But after I read it, I realized, obviously, these things aren't true.
But you thought it had to be true because it had that seal of the Midlands right there on the flyer.
Right, when I first looked at it, you are absolutely correct.
Well, I want to talk about a couple questions. You said people were asking you on election day. Isn't that, you said that some people asked you questions throughout the day, right?
Yeah, that's usual. People always ask me questions on election day.
Right, and this time around, there were people asking, if I don't own a home, can I vote?
Yeah, people always ask me questions like that, though.
Ms. Midori, that's a yes to my question. People were asking you, if I don't own a home, can I vote?
Yeah, they were.
Ms. Midori, people were asking you, if I've ever been arrested, can I vote?
Yeah, again, I get all kinds of questions from voters on election day.
You say that you get those questions all the time, Ms. Midori, but actually, in this 2015 election, you got those questions far more often than you normally do.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a yes. Far more often.
Yeah, sure.
Well, Ms. Midori, I'd like to ask you a couple questions now about another document.
Sure.
I believe, Your Honor, plaintiff's one, wish to approach the witness, please. Now, Ms. Midori, is it true that this is a text message you received at around 9 a.m. on the morning of the election?
I did get a text like this. I don't remember if it was from the same number or not.
Oh, Ms. Midori, you got that text message, didn't you?
Yeah, it said that you could vote on March 17th or March 18th.
Right, it said that you could vote on March 17th or March 18th.
It did say that, yeah.
But just to be clear for our jury, the election was only on March 17th, not March 18th.
Right. Yeah, I was the polling place manager. I would have known, obviously, if it was on the 18th, too. I would have had to manage the polls for another day.
Exactly, and you were there all day on the 17th, right?
Definitely from 3 a.m. to 10 p.m. It was quite the day.
But the next morning, you went back to the Slow-Low gym, right?
Right, I had to pick up some stuff that I'd forgotten.
Right, you went there about 6:45 in the morning, something like that?
Yes, I did.
Now, Ms. Midori, I want to talk a little bit about how long lines get on election day. Now, you said you've been managing polling places since 2006, right?
Yeah.
And in your experience, lines tend to get really long between 8 and 9 a.m., right?
That sounds about right,
It's
yeah.
like the pre-work rush.
Definitely.
During the lunch hour from 12 to 1.
That sounds about right.
And then from about 7 to 9. Is that right?
7 to 9, I don't know. Usually it's like 5 to 7.
5 to 7?
Yeah, because that would be like the, after work or dinner rush.
Exactly. So between 5 and 7, the lines get really long.
Yeah.
Now, just to be clear, when you went to the Slow-Low gym on the morning of the 18th, it was 6:45 a.m., right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Not any of those major rush times for voting.
No, because the polls don't even usually open until like 7, so.
Right, but when you got to the Slow-Low gym, there were about a dozen people there.
Yep.
And they told you they were there to vote.
Yes, they did.
Just to be clear, Ms. Midori, you can't tell us how many dozens of people showed up between 8 and 9 a.m., can you?
No, I only saw the couple of people that were there, when I was there.
You can't tell us how many people showed up between 12 and 1 on the 18th.
I have no idea.
You can't tell us how many dozens of people showed up between 5 and 7 on the 18th.
I don't know, you're right.
No further questions, Your Honor. Permission to approach the retreat.
Yes.